And you know what time it is. I'm cooking those chicken thighs up today. Woo! Some of my basic salt, pepper, garlic, and then some marinated chicken thighs as well. So we're getting to it today. Hang tight. Here we go. Hi, this is John, and welcome back to Mr. America Heart. Today, well, as you can see, I'm back at the barbecue. It's actually my grill that I cook all of a protein for our family during the week. And today I happen to be cooking some turkey burgers and some bratwurst links, and I also have some chicken on the way right after this. So I'm going to be cooking up some chicken thighs as well. And you know that's one of my favorite, chicken thighs, right? So I have some good marinated chicken thighs as well as regular ones coming up soon. So today, however, I took a question out of the mailbag and I wanted to answer it. And it comes from L. Ray. L. Ray is one of the longer lasting, one of my original subscribers to my channel. And he's been around commenting on videos, and he asked the question about what to do when you have different goals for different body parts. And he uses the example of his chest, his back is very thick, and he doesn't necessarily want to make them any bigger, but rather create more definition in those areas. And here's the thing about this. If we're talking about an area that is thicker, as in already having a great amount of muscle mass, that's quite different from having an area that's thicker and covered with fat. So genetically, you have to decide. Genetically, some of us, all of us, have a predisposition to having body fat accumulate a little bit more on certain parts of our body and then a little bit less on other parts of our body. And if in fact what you're talking about here is an accumulation of body fat in your chest and your back, and you want to get it more highly defined, then the reality is that you're going to have to drop the body fat and get it down as low as possible and see what you actually have, and then take things from there. At that point, you can determine, do you have as much muscle mass as you thought you had? Or is it just an issue or a matter of you developing or getting rid of the body fat that's covering it? So if that is the case, then of course you need to tighten up the diet and get rid of that body fat so you can show the muscle that's underneath. In almost all cases, El Ray, this is the situation. And also for anybody else who's curious about this, I get this question a lot when it comes to people that are dealing with having more body fat, usually in certain parts of their body, whether it's their belly or their hips, their back, or their legs, especially with a lot of the women. Female clients that I've had tend to carry a little bit more body fat in their lower bodies than their upper bodies. And so they ask, how do I get those areas to slim down? How do I get those areas to become more defined? And again, it comes down to, we have to drop their body fat as low as possible. And once we get that body fat down as low as possible, then, only then, can we determine how much muscle is really there, how much fat is really there. And then we go from there. So, to get back to the original question, how do you treat different body parts when you have a different goal for different body parts, like growing your legs when you're already thick enough in your upper body? Well, the bottom line becomes, if it's not a body fat issue, which I just described, the body fat issue requires you to reduce your body fat as low as possible and then determine, is it still thick in the chest and in the back? If it's not, then you're fine. Just go ahead and continue to train at that low body fat and build up muscle everywhere. However, if it's not an issue of body fat and it's an issue of muscle mass, and you're already fairly lean, and you're going to have to make a decision on, how do I train this chest, this back, when it's already very well developed and plenty thick, plenty wide? Well, then you go into a maintenance phase on those body parts. You don't lift heavier and heavier weights on your chest. You don't lift heavier and heavier weights for more repetitions on your back. You have to just go into a maintenance mode, which is you choose the weight that you currently can lift on your chest and on your back in any chest or back exercise, and you just continue to lift that weight for however many repetitions you can do. You do it weekly or semi-weekly, every other week, and you just touch the muscles just to maintain your chest and your back. Now, the cool part is that reserve energy that you have that was going to train your chest and your back, that energy can go towards improving your arms, your legs, and any other areas that you have that may need improvement. So the chest and the back can go into maintenance mode. You just train them with weights that you can currently handle, and instead of taking it to failure, you can cut down on the sets, the total number of sets that you do per month on your chest and on your back, and you just choose a weight after you're warmed up that you can use for however many repetitions you've been using, and cut it by 2, maybe 1 or 2 repetitions shy of failure. So you're not stimulating more growth, but you're just still taking those muscles through the range of motion and doing a certain amount of work to maintain your chest and your back muscles, but rather saving that energy to work on your shoulders, your arms, your legs, working those muscles with more of a priority and more of a mental effort, and improving those areas by using heavier and heavier weights for even more repetitions. And you'll find that by no longer hitting your chest and your back super hard, there will be a little bit of an extra amount of energy, a little bit of that push that you had been using on your chest and your back. It'll go into those leg workouts. You'll get a few extra repetitions here and there. You'll do better on your arm workouts. You'll be able to focus in on them. You'll fall in love with training your arms, your shoulders. Whereas before, chest and back training may have been very easy for you because they came easy for you. So that's the answer right there. Go into maintenance mode on your chest and your back, or any body part that's very, very strong for you. And spend some extra quality time in workouts on the areas and those muscles that need extra work. Not necessarily doing extra work, as in sets or more exercises, but rather giving it more of an effort on those body parts. Improve them by going for an extra 2 or 3 repetitions on each one of those arm exercises or leg exercises that you normally would do, and you'll find you'll have that little bit of a push to go further than that. And that's it. From my heart to you, thanks for stopping by, and thanks, El Ray, for that question. I appreciate it. Hit me, as always, with your comments down below. I'm going to get back to cooking this meat. I appreciate it. From Mr. America Hart, John Hart, thank you very much. Thank you for watching. Please hit the subscribe button below before you leave.